baby. That's what this week is all about. We're going to be talking Juventus, Tottenham, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Manchester City, Basel, and more. All beginning right now. Let's begin with Juventus and Tottenham because that's one of the games that's going on right now. It was a really intriguing tie going into it because both teams have pretty strong defensive records. Juventus haven't conceded any goals since 2018, since the new year began, and Tottenham haven't been shut out since mid-November. So Tottenham, a strong attacking team, Juventus, a strong defensive team. Juventus have conceded the least goals of all 16 teams left in the competition. So it's really interesting. Who do you think is going to win the tie?
I think Juventus is going to come down to experience, and Juventus is a very good defensive team, but they're also good on the counter with a lot of pace out wide with Cuadrado, Douglas Costa, and they have Dybala in the middle, so I think that's a very good attack. I just feel like Tottenham is not used to like being at this level and performing against high teams like that, so I feel like that's going to be a little downfall to the game for them.
That's always the issue with Premier League teams is that they have, it's called the best league in the world, the Premier League, and they have a lot of competition in their league, but then they're not really used to competing with top-class teams all the time because there are 20 teams in the Premier League. Only 6, maybe 7 teams are what you'd call like top-class teams. Yeah. So when they go against teams like Juventus, they tend to be outclassed, and that's actually the case this time. They're losing 2-0 Tottenham. Juventus has scored 2 goals in the first 10 minutes, and maybe more by the time this podcast has been recorded and uploaded. But one team that's not having too many issues in the Champions League right now is Manchester City. They are 3-0 up against Basel, and it's only 25 or 30 minutes gone. Man City, where are they going to finish in the Champions League? Where obviously they're in the quarterfinals at this point. 3 away goals, but how far will they progress?
I think they can make it to the semis based on the draw they can get on the next time. But the way they're playing, they seem to be looking like the best team in Europe overall. They seem to not be struggling that much in the Premier League as well. But I believe they're scoring the most goals too in all competitions. So I think that's a big plus for them. Plus that Pep Guardiola, he's probably the best coach in the world, I would say.
I think a lot of people would agree with you. You mentioned best team in the world. 2 teams that are going to be going against each other tomorrow, Wednesday, who know a little bit about that term, the best team in the world. Real Madrid and PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. You're a Real Madrid fan. Yeah. I'm not a Real Madrid fan. Neither am I a PSG fan. But I think Real Madrid is going to destroy PSG. I think PSG are a decent team with 1 or 2 big-name players and kind of papers over the cracks. But Real Madrid have a decent side, and I think they're gonna just steamroll PSG. What do you think?
Obviously, I'm rooting for Real Madrid. I'm a little scared because last time PSG played a Spanish team, they came out on fire in the first game when they played Barcelona last year. Second game was not so much the same, but I feel like PSG made a couple changes this year in the center mid that I feel doesn't make them as strong as they were last year. But Real Madrid seems to be picking up the pace again in La Liga and catching rhythm with the players they have. Bale seems to be looking very well in form. Benzema seems to catch rhythm. Ronaldo's back to scoring, so that's kind of scary if you're playing those top 3 guys up front. It's not that easy to defend.
And one of the things that was always scary for Real Madrid is their B team, like their substitutes. You know, you have players like Marco Asensio. That's really the only one I know. But maybe you can name some more from their subs bench that's come in and actually made a difference. That was the key for them last year when they won the Champions League, is that they had so many reinforcements when Ronaldo or Bale or Benzema or any of their other main players were injured or just needed a break. They had a ready-made replacement for them that they could put in, and that was huge. Do you think that's going to make a difference this year as well?
I think so. Lucas Vazquez scored this weekend, so that's very good for them. Asensio's always playing at a good level. Kovacic is getting more minutes, and he's doing well in the center mid, giving rest to Gross and Modric, which is important for Real Madrid because they're the centerpiece of the whole team. I believe without those two, it's very hard for them to win. So I think that their bench is starting to pick it up. They're also getting healthy again with no injuries. Ramos is back, so that's very important in the back line. And I feel like Real Madrid's hitting that point of the season where they started to pick it up, and I feel like teams should begin to be worried about that.
Well, what do we have on Neymar scoring a goal at least?
I believe he'll score. If he doesn't score, he'll assist, but he's going to get a goal.
He's going to get a goal.
I believe he's going to get a goal.
I think he'll get a goal too. He's just that good that even if he's on a team where maybe the service is not completely there like it was at Barcelona, he's going to do something. Like you said, he'll contribute in some way. Also, random Europa League shout out to Östersunds, Arsenal, my team. Go to play a Swedish team called Östersunds on Thursday. It's currently 10 degrees there and snowing, so Arsenal are going to have a little bit of a culture shock. But that's an aside. That's all for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week talking more Champions League. Till then, bye-bye.